Here from Unleash Fit Living, and boy do we have a topic for you tonight. We're going to be delving into this question of, can I have enough protein if I don't eat meat? Yes, crazy big topic. So before we get started, just tell me where you're from, say hello in the comments. I'd love to know who we've got on our topic on our live tonight. I'm really excited because tonight I'm going to be sharing with you two people are going to come on, hopefully, if we can make Facebook Live work again with double screen. Two people are going to share their journey with this topic, so I'm really excited about that. And so that's where we're headed tonight. Now, before we get any further, jump in and tell me where you're from, what your name is, and I think that, yes, I'm going to just make sure that we've got the people on that I'm going to invite on later. But yeah, what I wanted to say was, before we get anywhere, in the description of this video is a link to my blog as well as my protein cheat sheet that I've put together that's available for you there on my blog. So please go to that link and grab that if you're interested. Hi Sue, great to have you join. Thanks so much for being my troopy. I love it. It's so great that you jump in and are here with me on Monday nights. So yes, this whole big topic, it's a really massive one, isn't it, when it comes to protein? I would love to know, if you are watching me now, what is the biggest message out there in the world as to where... Hi Elliot and Tess from Cooley, thanks for joining. What's the biggest message out there about where to get protein from? I'd love you to chuck it in the comments. What are we told, particularly from the health and fitness industry, is a must if we want to have protein? I'll wait to see what you type in the comments, because I'm sure that we're probably all going to be on a very similar page with this. What is the message out there about where to get protein from, and what is, necessary, I guess, is the question. So if you think you know what that is, supplements, yes, Elliot, absolutely. Supplements is a big one that is pushed. Whey protein, yes, definitely, that's another big one. That the supplement protein industry has absolutely boomed in recent years in particular, and they push this message that you need a certain amount of protein in order to get the gains that you want, get the body that you want. And so it can get really confusing to know, well, can you get protein from other sources just besides supplements, and just besides meat? That's another big one as well. So yeah, that's a big place that we're going to start, is, do you need meat? We're going to deal with that, I think, tonight a little bit more than just animal products in general, because obviously there's dairy and eggs, and we will touch on that a bit tonight too. But I just wanted to give you a bit of my journey first, and then we'll jump into it. I was brought up on a vegetarian diet, and actually for the first 10 years or so of my life, I was brought up quite a strict vegan. I remember not having butter ever. I actually used to call avocado green butter because that was the name that my parents gave it. Avocado was what I ate, not butter. I remember the first time I had Easter eggs at school. A friend shared, just those little Easter eggs from school, and I remember getting sick from it because I'd never had that much sugar in one hit ever before. It was nuts. So it wasn't until I kind of was at school and then through high school that my family started to eat meat. And so I ate meat, mainly just beef and chicken. Hey Anna, thanks for joining. Mainly beef and chicken and lamb and fish for probably about 10 years of my life. And then I ended up, just out of my own choice, once I moved out of home, just not really enjoying the meat thing. I think because I'd been brought up without it, I didn't love it really. I mean, I liked it, loved chicken, loved fish, but thought, I think I can go without it. And actually what did tip the scales for me was I watched a documentary called Food Inc. And on that documentary, it actually showed the living conditions and all the conditions that are around chickens and how diseased they are and not kept well, and the hormones they're pumped with and all this stuff. And I kind of realize, oh my goodness, like that's in the meat I'm eating, so I want to stop eating meat. Then after that, I started to get quite into fitness, and I was lifting weights for probably about 12 or 13 years now, and went through then the whole phase of protein powder. Oh, I need my protein to like get muscle and all this stuff. And so for many years that was my big thing. And to be honest, there is a need, and this is something we're going to address soon, is depending on someone's goals or desire of what they want to achieve, there is definitely a need to have a higher protein intake in their diet if they want to build muscle. So please don't hear me wrong. I'm not saying don't take supplements and don't take protein powder, but to me it makes sense that the best forms of protein are going to come in a whole food form, as in the form that we find them in nature, along with the other nutrients and vitamins and minerals that obviously together are going to be absorbed better into our body and our system. So that's been kind of my journey, and to be honest, in the last 12 months or so, I think I've been on another little bit of a journey too, where I haven't even really been taking protein powder religiously like I was. I used to take whey protein, then I transferred to more of a plant-based proteins like pea protein and brown rice protein, and then got into some whole foods protein powders as well. But even now, I actually don't take them regularly as part of my diet. I just have them sort of here and there. And this has all come about through, I guess, just personal experience, what works for me, and also just from reading up on the whole protein thing. Do we need that much? So moving on, I want to just jump straight into this question that is at the top of this video, which is, do we need to eat meat to get enough protein? And the answer is no, we don't. What is amazing is there's been studies done, and if you want to actually check them out, I've given links in my my blog. Studies have been done that have shown that vegetarians that don't eat meat actually exceed the daily protein requirements by up to 70% in some cases, which means that then obviously meat eaters are even having a lot more than they really need. Now, there is, like I said, a place for having a higher protein diet if you're needing to build muscle and that sort of thing, but having an excessively high protein diet, particularly if it comes from animal sources, has just unequivocally been linked to to lifestyle disease and also to premature death. Thousands and thousands of cases have shown this, and I don't know if you've heard of the China study. If you've heard of the China study, that basically looked at the biggest people group ever that a study's ever done when it comes to plant-based diets, and they found that a diet increased to 20% animal protein, they had increased risk of a plethora of lifestyle diseases, cardiovascular problems, diabetes, liver failure, kidney problems, all that stuff. And yet when they saw the people groups that only had a very low animal protein intake of only around 5% or so, their risk of cancer and all those things dropped dramatically. So where I'm coming from is I'm not here saying don't ever eat meat, there's never a place for that. Don't hear me wrong. What I am saying is that let's be more diligent and intentional about, first of all, knowing how much protein we need, and then what sources are going to be best. So if you want to hear more about that, jump on my blog. I've got a short article there, and I also have created a freebie, which is this plant-based protein cheat sheet that's going to give you a bunch of plant-based protein sources that I eat regularly, and it shows how much protein per serve that you get in them as well. So please jump on there. Now what I'd love to do is I am going to invite my friend Anna on. Now I think I saw her over here watching. Let's see if I've got her here still. I might have to wait a minute till she comes back in actually. But I've got two friends that are going to join me tonight, and the reason I've asked them to come on is because both of these women are actually extraordinary women who have done amazing things with their bodies, and neither of them eat eat meat. So this is just, I guess, a couple of case studies to show, in fact, that we don't need to. Now, remember, if you're not someone who's trying to be an athlete or is like a professional fitness model or competitor, there's even less of a need to eat a high protein diet. If you have a look on my blog, it's got there that the recommendations of just recommended dietary intake for a female around 60 kilos is actually only about 60 odd grams of protein a day. So we actually usually are far outweighing that. Of course, if you've got particular fitness goals, you're going to get even higher in what you want to get for that, but it's not going to be ridiculous amounts. So when I bring on my friends, just keep in mind that they have particular goals that they're trying to achieve, and that's why their protein intake might be higher than yours. But there is a simple way to figure out how much protein you need for just everyday living, and that is in my blog as well. It works out to be, let me just pull it up. I do have it here. It's about 0.6 of grams to every kilo of body weight. So if you're a 60 kilogram woman, for example, you're going to need between 40 and 45 grams of protein a day. So that gives you a rough guesstimate of how much to basically get. So right now I'm going to see if I can get Anna on. Let's see how we go. Right now, you've beat Mel to it, so you're going to be on first. I hope that's all right. Let's see. Looks like it's connecting up. Yay! Hey, Anna.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Before we get into it, can you just tell us who are you, Anna, and what are you doing with your life, particularly in terms of your health and fitness, where you're at the moment?
Okay, well, I'm no one special, just a mum and a grandma. I work full time. I compete in figure bodybuilding, and
Yep.
I am as a new term, a vegan. I'm sort of vegan who eats free range eggs.
Uh-huh.
So,
I like it. I would call myself that too then.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. Okay. So my next question, actually, crap. Yeah, I lost my questions. Here we go. So what for you, so you obviously have a pretty particular fitness goal. Is you're competing, so you're getting up on stage. You're trying to really get some good muscle on you and then lean down so that muscle is really visible for those competitions. For your particular goals, what's your main sources of protein and how much are you aiming for with that kind of a goal?
My main source of protein is pretty much eggs, veggies,
yep.
Kidney beans, things like that. Everything that's high in protein. Pepitas,
yep.
Almonds. I do have a vegan protein powder. Obviously, I need more protein than the average person.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. Veggies and eggs, beans.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Awesome. So how long have you been meat-free, Anna, and why did you choose to go meat-free?
I've always struggled eating meat. I can even remember being little, mum making rabbit stew and making me eat it. I was just mortified. I grew up struggling to eat meat, and then there was just one day I remember sitting at the table and I was eating lamb chops, and I thought, oh my God, I'm an adult. I don't have to do this anymore. And I stopped. I had to play with my mind every time I ate meat to go to a happy place to eat meat. I don't know why I never did it sooner, but about 5 years now I've been meat free and haven't missed it in any way, shape or form.
Okay, so when you decided to go meat free, was that around the same time that you started to get into fitness as well?
No, it was before that.
Okay,
I've sort of always been into fitness, like aerobic instructor, all that sort of stuff throughout the years. But no, it was sort of just that I decided to train for bodybuilding.
Okay, yeah, cool. So would you say then, for someone just a woman who's just a busy mum and just wants to basically be fit, strong and lean, is it necessary, do you think, to have a super high protein diet? No. Okay. And from your experience, did you find before you really got serious about the fitness that you were getting enough protein probably from the variety of foods that you just ate in general as a vegetarian?
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
If you eat your beans and your nuts and your veggies, if you eat a healthy diet, like a regular healthy diet, you're getting plenty of protein without even
Yeah,
trying.
yeah. Yep, awesome. That's really cool to hear because, like, as you probably know, there's such a big myth out there, particularly in the health and fitness industry, that, you know, you can't get enough protein unless you eat meat, and
Yep.
you can't, you know, you're not going to get the muscle gains that you want without eating meat. And I think that you're an excellent example of that just being simply not true. So,
It
yeah,
is a myth. If you go on and look up some of the vegan I mean, there's vegan bodybuilders. They have
yeah,
no product whatsoever.
eggs, yeah,
Vegetarians are different again. They have eggs and all different forms of vegetarian. Obviously, you get your ovo
yeah,
lactose, just your ovos, just your lactose, but they're all bodybuilders. They're gaining muscle, eating no meat, no animals.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's done.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so what have, like, since you've kind of been on your fitness journey, what have you been able to achieve in terms of your, you know, getting on stage and your body? Like, yeah, where have you kind of gotten it to at this point?
Well, I've competed. I've placed a couple of times, which has been really quite
Awesome.
rewarding. Gave me a little
So
bit
cool.
more a bug, but I think going meat free has opened up a huge, different, healthy way of life because you're more
Yep.
aware of what you eat. You experiment more. You don't just, oh, I'm going to have steak and veggies for dinner tonight. You think, oh, what can I have to go with this? It's opened up
Yep.
a huge amount of I don't know, just a different lifestyle. It's
Yeah,
changed the whole way of eating. It's really quite awesome. But I've
that's
achieved
so awesome.
quite a bit on a vegetarian diet now, going into a transitioning into a vegan diet, and it really hasn't changed. My protein levels are the same. I have no trouble gaining what I need to gain, and it's just a matter of
Yep.
growing it now.
Yep. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, would you mind, once I switch over and put Mel on, would you be able to throw if you were willing, throw a photo in the comments, just so that our viewers can have a look at what you've been able to achieve, like, since you've been on this meat-free diet?
Yep, cool. Yep,
That'd be awesome. Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for jumping on, Anna. Great to hear from you. Thanks for sharing your journey. And hopefully it's just something that we can just be encouraging others to take that step. And like you said, I think it's lifestyle. Hey, it's just making healthier choices overall, and realizing that we don't need to be eating, you know, dead flesh to get protein. Yeah.
And I've saved so many animals in the last 5 years.
Yes.
You know, and it
Yeah.
makes you feel good. Makes you feel good.
Absolutely. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
No worries.
Cool. Thanks, Anna.
Bye.
We'll catch you soon. Bye. Well, that was awesome. So what's really cool now is that I'm actually going to be inviting Anna's daughter on. I don't know if they wanted me to tell you that, but this is actually a mother-daughter duo. So I'm going to actually get Mel on right now. Let's see if we can do it. I'm just going to invite her in. So stay tuned for interview number 2, people. This is another amazing friend of mine that I want to introduce to you. Hey, Mel.
How are you?
I'm good. This is great. We've been talking about doing this for a few weeks, so it's really cool to see you on here. How are you going? How's things?
Oh, I had some technical difficulties. I nearly couldn't get on.
We got there. We got there in the end. That's awesome. So, hey, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you at in life at the moment, and what's sort of your current goals in terms of your health and fitness?
Well, I'm mum of 3, so 6-year-old, 4-year-old, and a 9-month-old baby. So fitness is just to be in shape and healthy. Like, I'd love to get my body fat down and get on stage again, but being a mum comes first, and I'll just fit that in when I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. So what are actually? So you are meat free, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. How long have you been meat free for?
Well, I've been vegetarian since I was in grade 7. That was just a natural progression I chose to do as a young person. But basically, I like the thought of it. I didn't like what it was, and now I just don't like it. Period. I don't enjoy it. So.
Yeah. So you beat your mum to it. So you actually kind of went meat free before Anna.
Oh yeah, I was really, yep, I've been for years and years and years, grade 7, so that's
Yeah.
really young. I was the only one in the family. I was,
Yeah, right.
the annoying daughter that wouldn't eat the meat.
The annoying daughter. Damn you. Yeah. Okay, cool. And so now that, you know, you haven't eaten meat for a long time, and obviously in recent years, fitness has become like a really big thing for you. What are your main sources of protein when it comes to, yeah, getting more, because you've had specific goals in terms of getting on stage as well and competing?
Sorry, Ruth, say that again.
Oh, main sources of protein for you now. Yeah.
So when I competed, my main source of protein was eggs. So I still eat eggs and
Yep.
veggie patties, all that sort of stuff. I have protein powder. I have whey, so I'm not.
Yep.
So that was basically, and obviously your veggies, greens. I eat lots of greens.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So you've been able to basically, again, get enough protein to gain muscle. When you did it, I don't know if you remember off the top of your head, do you remember how much muscle you gained, particularly leading up to like when you comped last year? Sorry, the year before. Crap, it's been a while.
Yeah, it was 2015, I think.
Yeah.
How much muscle? No, I don't know the actual math like that.
But pictures will tell us, right? So I was going to say, jump on, and after this, if you don't mind, put a picture up of you at comp time, because I think it's just awesome evidence that like you can get an amazing, strong and fit body like without meat. So yeah, that's probably a better way to look at it actually, is the pictures, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. Yep, I'll be able to post them up for you.
Yeah, cool. So what did you end up being able to achieve? So you've been meat free, then you decided, I want to get on stage. What happened when you got to stage and competed in 2015?
What happened is did I enjoy it or?
Yeah, and how did you go?
Oh, I placed. I got 3rd, so I was pretty stoked with that.
Wow. Yep.
Against other meat eaters.
Right.
So yeah, I was pretty happy. I was pretty happy with getting a place for my first ever comp.
Yeah, so cool. Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's amazing. And again, I just think it's super, super cool when chicks get up there who haven't eaten meat to build their muscle. They've been able to do it meat free, and they've been able to obviously go in comparison against these other women and place above most of them as well. So again, it's just like huge evidence that we don't need to eat meat to get our protein. And I know it's been ages for you probably since you ate meat regularly. Have you noticed any difference from when you were younger in how you just feel in general, like in your health?
Oh, I remember in the early days when I vividly remember it when I was younger, stopped eating meat. I remember when I ate it, I felt really heavy and full, and
yeah,
so nice not to have that real heavy feeling.
Yeah, cool. Okay, yeah, cool. So there's been definitely like overall health differences, as well as being able to like achieve like a smoking body without meat.
Definitely.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Well, hey, thanks so much for jumping on. Do you want to, yeah, like I said, jump on and put up a photo, because I'm sure our viewers would love to see like what you've been able to achieve, particularly when you comped. And do you have any last advice, like for someone who's maybe thinking about going meat free? Do you have any advice for them on anything, how to do it?
Well, I did it obviously, because I've been vegetarian for so many years. Back when I did it, there was very little options. There wasn't all these vegetarian products that there are now.
Yeah.
Limited. So I suppose you got to do it for the right reasons. It was easy for me because I don't enjoy meat and I don't like what it is.
Yeah.
But there's so many options and variety of different things that you can have to go meat free. It's pretty easy these days.
Yeah, so that's cool. So you still can get variety. I mean, obviously when you're bodybuilding and stuff, eggs are still quite a large source because they are a whole protein in and of themselves. But like you say, there's still heaps of other meat-free protein products on the market, as well as obviously our plants and veggies as well. So yeah, that's really cool. Thanks, Mel. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks heaps for joining. And I will say goodbye now, but yeah, please jump in and put your photos in the comments for us. That'd be awesome.
All right.
Cool. Okay.
See
See
ya.
ya.
Bye.
All right. Get your attention. Hello. Awesome. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing from Mel and Anna. They're just two examples, and hopefully if they're still on there, they'll throw in some photos in our comments here, and we'll be able to see, see that what they got. Please go to my blog if you want to just read a little bit more up on here. Then you can go to the blog and also get there. I've listed like the proteins that I use quite regularly, and I actually just wanted to show you a few really quickly. I've got them here on my bench already. So right here we have tempeh. Tempeh is fermented soya bean. Now there's a lot of debate over soy, but oh, thanks girls. I just realized you may not be able to add the photos until I finish the live. So if you do it tonight, cool. If not, later, I'll try and remind you to chuck them on so our viewers can see them. Sorry, I didn't realize you can't put photos up during a live. There you go. Anyway, so tempeh. Tempeh is fermented soybean. It's in the whole bean. It's a whole bean sauce. So compared to tofu, this is tofu here. Tempeh is going to have a higher yield of protein because it's in its whole sauce, whole form is what I'm trying to say. So just looking here on the packet, in 100 grams of tempeh, you're getting 15 grams of protein. So that's quite good. And if we're aiming for, just on average, without being like a crazy bodybuilder, 60 odd grams of protein a day, you've got a quarter of it just from a serve of protein, of tempeh. Tofu is then like the lesser preferred version of soybean, and that's because it's a little bit more processed. If you've got 100 grams here, you're getting about 13.4 grams of protein in tofu. I'm really picky about the tofu and the tempeh I use. I try to only get organic, non-GMO, whole soybean based products because the GMO stuff is just nasty. You don't really want to touch it. Another one that you may not have heard of is savory yeast flakes. So they're kind of flaky coming out of the bottle. These are amazing because I'm gluten intolerant. So yeast and gluten and all those things don't play with my stomach very well. But savory or nutritional yeast flakes is actually an awesome source of plant-based protein because it's actually 52% protein. So if you have, I think it's 3 tablespoons of this stuff, you're getting 12 grams of protein just in that. And what's great about it is it's a really lovely flavor addition to your food. It's kind of got like a cheesy, savory flavor to it. So it's something really worth checking out as well, is the nutritional yeast flakes. If you haven't seen them, I'm pretty sure you can get them in Coles or Woolworths, and if not, definitely in your local health food store. Now, for those that still, I guess, are wanting some form of meat-like substance, there's a new product out called the Alternative Meat Co. And this is pretty sure it's vegan. Yep, it's vegan friendly. And this is the chicken version. So it's chicken-free chicken strips. And it's obviously got the same similar texture and flavor to chicken. And I'm just looking here, you've got, this is actually quite high. So in 100 grams, you've got 20 grams of protein in that. And that can obviously, particularly if you're transitioning from meat to no meat, something like this can sometimes be a good help just to kind of still have that similar meat, texture if you like that. Now in this, it's mainly a soy-based product as well. So obviously there's some people that are a bit affected by soy and can't eat soy. So that cuts out 3 of the 4 things I showed you, unfortunately. However, there are other things that you can have, like legumes, quinoa, buckwheat, greens. They all have, and nuts and seeds. They all have awesome protein in them as well. And you're also going to be getting your fiber and your healthy fats in a lot of those too. I think a lot of people think, oh, I can't have the legumes and the beans and the lentils because they're so high in carbohydrates. Well, for a start, you don't need to eat a massive amount of them in the first place. And secondly, we still need that fuel as well in our bodies. You know, the main macronutrients that we need for survival are proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. So just because a food has a mixture of all of those in it, it's not a bad thing. In fact, it's a good thing because our bodies were actually made to digest foods in their whole form. So anyway, that's just a little bit, just a few protein examples there. If you're thinking of going meat-free or want to try some things, if you want more of those, jump on my blog, and the link's in the top of this video, and you can actually get the protein cheat sheet, which I've put them on there for you, a whole bunch of different examples. So just before I sign off, what are we? I've gone about half an hour. Does anyone have any questions for me? I'm not an expert by any means. I'm just sharing what I've learned over a decade of being into this stuff and into, fitness and becoming more of a plant-based diet advocate. Yeah, please throw up any questions. I'll do my best to answer them. And if not, I'll pull on some of my expert friends to help as well. But yeah, around this whole protein question, it can be a really confusing one, but I hope that one thing has come through clear, and that is that we do not need to have animal products or meat products in particular in order to get enough protein in our diets. Even if you're a bodybuilder or a fitness freak that's wanting to build a lot of muscle, it's not necessary. And as Anna said in her interview, if you just jump on and Google vegan bodybuilders, you'll see very quickly that you do not need to eat meat in order to get insane amounts of muscle. So yeah, it's my conviction actually that our bodies weren't actually made to eat meat and digest it, that was actually a secondary form of food that was not actually the ideal diet that our bodies were made to have. And so the more we get back to more of a plant-based diet, the better we're going to function, the more energy that we're going to have, the more life and vitality we'll experience, because we're eating foods that are living. Plants are living. Animal meat is dead. And yeah, anyway, we could get into it, but my point is, the more that we move towards that, the better the environment's going to be, the better our bodies are going to be, and less animals will have to die as well. So whatever your reasons, there's plenty of them out there why. For me, the number one reason is my health. I just want to live the most energetic, fit, strong life I can. And I believe from what I've researched and read and experienced for myself that cutting out meat products is the way for that to happen at the best and most optimal level. And I'm not just throwing that out, that's backed up by many studies. Just go check out the China study. There's plenty of health documentaries. A few of us actually watched Cowspiracy last night that went into this as well. So yeah, please get educated, learn for yourself, look into this stuff. Don't just believe everything that you hear in the media and you see on advertisements, because most of it's rubbish and most of it's really just about making money. It's not about putting your health first. All right, that's me, Unleash, checking out. Thanks so much for joining, and we will catch you on the flip side next Monday. See you later.